When we first moved to France from the US, a lot of things they're just similar enough that it feels like you should instinctively know what to do and how to manage all these similar experiences.
Right, you're not on Mars.
But there are some subtle etiquette differences. And when you see everyone else is doing something different, you realize you don't know what you're doing in a situation, well, you really feel out of place and a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, even though it's kind of subtle. Grocery shopping at the supermarket, the supermarché, has definitely been one of these for us in like little ways.
Yeah, these are the grocery store etiquette rules that stood out to us as Americans living in the countryside of Southwest France these past 3.5 years.
Hi, I'm Raina.
I'm Jason. We're Baguette Bound, an American family of 3 in the countryside of Southwest France. We've helped hundreds of people move, adjust, and enjoy their life in France.
So first up, this has been said many places before, but it starts out in the parking lot. You're going to need a coin for the shopping cart. One tip is now we keep one in the car specifically for this, and no one is allowed to rob it for anything else. This is the sacred cart coin.
Always has to be back there
Yes.
when we're done. Yeah. One alternative is to carry a little plastic coin or disc or anything that fits into those carts. A lot of stores will actually give you one that you can use in the carts if you just go inside and ask for one if you don't have a coin.
And if you're going to be living in a city where you're walking to get your groceries, probably you should get yourself one of these ASAP.
I cannot tell you how many times we've walked to the store with just a small bag and left with way more than we expected to buy. My arms or shoulders are aching on the walk home. Suffering, help me.
Yeah. You don't realize it because you have a little cart usually, even in the little stores, to push around. And so you don't realize like, oh, I'm going to have to carry those, 3 6-packs home.
So always bring your wheeled cart with you.
Yeah, they're not just for old ladies in France.
No, they're not.
Now, also, while you're in the store shopping, something that I would have been shocked to see in the US, but there is nothing rude about this, is to take a single drink out of a packaged 6-pack.
It does look kind of strange. Yeah, it's super common and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, if you just need one.
You see it with 8-packs, 6-packs, and little canned rings taken out of bags, paper bags, plastic bags, of anything. If you see multiple ones and you just want one,
or two.
Even if it's just a single beer, just pull it out.
Yeah, not rude, perfectly fine. Another thing is, we've mentioned this before in previous videos, but it's been a long time. So if you are buying produce, make sure you take a look around and see if you need to weigh it and then print out a little sticker with the price in it for checkout.
It can be horrifying to get up to the checkout and you realize that you have to run back to the store, go all the way back to the produce, wait to find a scale, print yourself a sticker. Yeah, this is usually only
It's happened to
an
us.
issue. Oh yeah, several times. This is only an issue usually at the larger supermarkets, the larger supermarchés like Leclerc or Super U. But look around in the produce section to see if you need to print out a sticker before you head up to the checkout.
Yeah. Now, checking out. This is where I feel like it gets a little more like there's just polite subtleties that are just slightly different. Yeah. So if you just have a few items and you choose the self-checkout, make sure that you grab the receipt as you're going out. Usually didn't even need it, but if you're at the self-checkout, often it'll have like a little barcode or QR code on it that you've got to scan to open the gate to let yourself out. Not all stores do this, but some do. And I was definitely like stuck trying to push the gate open at a Leclerc that had this one time.
Were you just breaking the gate?
No, I did not break the gate, but there was a lady there. She was like telling me, scan your receipt. Yeah. And anyway.
It's not the receipt with all your line items.
Right.
It's a separate printout.
It's a little,
that has a barcode on it that can get you out of it.
You'll put it under a little scanner.
Yeah. When you're getting into the checkout line, you want to make sure that you are alert for 2 things: the caisse priority and the caisse scan a shot. If you're in the store that has one of these. The scan a shot is the checkouts for, if you use one of the little handheld scanners as you go around the store, you ring up each item as you buy them. Yeah,
it's like the kind of thing you see in the US to register for your wedding or something. They look the same.
Yeah. So in these cases, you just go up to the register and you just have to pay because you've already rung up all your things.
Yeah.
Often when you walk into the register line, you'll see an image above you or kind of on the sides with an image of that handheld scanner. So just be aware of that.
Because you can't do a regular
checkout
checkout
there.
there.
The checkout line.
It's just
if
for
you
this.
have not already pre-scanned, they won't let you go through.
Yeah.
The caisse priority lines are meant to relieve kind of the elderly or disabled people from needing to stand in the long lines when the store is busy. So our understanding, and it seems to be okay to use these lines when they're unoccupied, but you'd always let an elderly or disabled person go ahead of you if they walked up and approached the checkout area.
Right. Which also brings me to a thing that used to happen occasionally in the US, but I feel like it happens all the time here in France, which is if I get in line and I just have a couple of things, but the person in front of me has a lot, I have lost track of the number of times where the person will just tell me that I can go ahead. So much so now that they've trained me that if I have a lot of stuff, I will usually kind of glance back at the person behind me and see, if they've just got like a baguette and a package of ham, or a few things, I'll ask them if they want to go ahead. I've also had a couple times where people will politely ask me if they can go ahead when I have a lot of stuff and they just have a couple, which I don't really remember that ever happening in the US where someone would ask to go ahead of you, but it definitely feels so common here to the point that it's almost a little bit of a polite expectation, more so than it was in the US.
I think so. It's not so different, but it definitely feels more accentuated.
Yeah, more common. Yeah, more common. That I think about it now.
Yeah. So also, if you're going through these grocery store aisles or waiting in lines, we rarely see people with their phones out, right? People
it's kind of weird.
Just being aware, they're paying attention, they're not on their phones while they're in the store. So don't be surprised if people are a little annoyed at you if you're absorbed with your phone, not paying attention on the aisle or in the checkout line, especially in the checkout line.
The checkout line is the one that surprised me because this is not always, right? I mean, there's definitely still going to be people if the line is long, but in general, I just see people like alert, waiting for their turn. It surprises me because in the US, usually it's like everyone is just reading on their phone, waiting. Also, as you're putting, your groceries on the belt, and when you get done, I notice 98% of the time, the person who's just finished putting their groceries on the belt will then put the little, what do you call the little bar that says it's like the end of one grocery order. And I mean, this same thing. This was like one of those things. In the US, I just remember usually I would put my stuff up and move on, and the person coming behind me would pull it and put it there. And here, I feel like it's such a common thing that everyone always does that. It's almost like the polite, like, okay, I'm done, and now I'm leaving the belt ready and the divider there for you to get started putting your groceries up. So it seems small, but it definitely feels like an expectation.
Yeah. Are you sure it's 98% of the time? That was a very exact number.
I don't know.
So if you
the fact checker over here.
You find yourself at checkout and you realize that you don't have a bag to put your groceries in, don't panic. This is scary, but you do have some options.
This is scary.
It is. You're like, what do I do?
Okay, because there are no bags. That's why it's scary.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Yeah. So you have three options. The first, you may or may not be able to take advantage of this, but one is to send your teenager to run out to the car as fast as she can to grab the bags for you because you forgot them.
Ask us how many times she's done this.
She has opinions, but she runs. The second one, maybe more useful, is to buy a reusable bag at the checkout. They're usually right there in the line. You can pick one up if you need it. Or you can always just pile everything back into your loose cart, especially if you drove that day. There are no free bags. You can't pay for the small individual bags that are common in the US. It just isn't an option here.
Yeah, and I know people watching this are probably going to be like, why did you discuss this? This is not complicated. But because there isn't the backup option of just the little plastic bags, I remember a couple times just being there and not having grabbed a reusable one, not having my own, and thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Before it occurred to me like, oh yeah, just pile it all back in the buggy, pull it out to the car, and pile it in the trunk.
Out to the car, it's easy to do.
Yeah. You don't realize how easy you get stressed when you're first here and everything's new. You're like, what do I do?
The cashier's talking to you in French. You're trying to figure out what's happening. They're asking you questions.
It seems silly, but okay. And actually, not every store does this, not every cashier does this, but don't be surprised if they want to inspect your bags if you have remembered your bag. So some places, you just put them on the conveyor belt and it'll go through and they'll look inside them, or like sometimes I just hold them up and open them. So
yeah. After you finish paying, the cashier will usually ask if you want a receipt. Voulez-vous le ticket? It's customary to say no, just because it's wasteful to print out a receipt that nobody really wants anyway. But this is usually your chance, your only chance, to get coupons or collect the stickers or stamps.
This is Jason's favorite part.
For whatever promotion the store is running at the moment. I do like this. Yeah.
Although, to be fair, we still to this day, the chef's knife we use, Jason saved up stickers and got on a promotion from Leclerc when we used to live close to
from Leclerc. It's a nice
when we
knife.
First moved here. Yeah.
But if the store is running a promotion for a baking dish, a knife, a casserole, and you want to get your tickets for that promotional game, don't forget to ask. Often if you say you don't want your receipt, they assume you just don't want anything and they won't give you all this stuff.
Yeah.
So don't forget.
Tickets, please. Okay. Now, these were all just kind of like random etiquette things that have stood out to us and the specific part of the country we live in. But if you have more or different, please let us know in the comments. This is a bit of a grouped sourced topic.
We can all work on this.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
A bientôt.